Welcome back, people. This is Jonathan Lacey, and we're back with another episode of the Laced Up Podcast. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. This gentleman is the head football coach for the Liberty University Flames. And, without further ado, welcome to the show, Coach Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for coming on and doing this. Um, for the people that may not know you, and they may not know like football. Can you just tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm been a college football coach now for many years. I started in high school. I coached 13 years in high school, and then moved into college, and have been in college since 2005, and have been blessed to coach with a lot of great staffs and coach a lot of great kids at a lot of great universities, and hopefully the relationships we build with them there will make an impact on them long term. I have a wife, Jill, and three beautiful daughters, Reagan, Jordan, and Madison. They are my life outside of football. Um, Jill is a remarkable wife, and have great daughters also. So, and a dog named Champ.
Yeah, Reagan and I, we actually had a class together, I believe, my senior year when you guys just moved to Lynchburg.
Yeah, I just hired her here.
Yeah,
She's working in the building now.
that's awesome that you keep it in the family. Really,
That's
that's
a
awesome.
different dynamic, though.
I'm sure. Um, so I know you because you say that you are a born again believer, and I
Yes.
just think like for the people out there, I know for me personally as well, we would just love to know like your testimony. Do you mind
Yeah.
expanding on
No, I
that?
don't mind at all. My faith is the most important thing to me. Obviously, that does not mean that I'm a perfect individual, but I know the one who is perfect. I met Christ at an early age of 7. Was led to Christ by my parents, um, who I'm grateful for, and that journey's been pretty smooth for me, um, except for a season of probably a year and a half or two where, man, the Lord had to discipline me, and that was not much fun. But it sure was a testimony that He loves me, and I know that, and so I want every player that I ever coach to understand that faith in Christ is hope. I hope that's something that they choose to partake in, and
Hmm.
they're always going to hear it from me in the right settings. That and hopefully they see it modeled out in the consistency to which I live, even with the times that I do fail. But um, that's His grace is it abounds. It's new every morning, and I'm so thankful that He loves me, and loves me unconditionally, and yeah, I hope I model that for my daughters and my wife also.
Absolutely, and that's awesome. And I just want to say as well, when I first heard the news that you were coming, because it's so funny. I just remember talking to my buddy Matthew, and I just told him, I said, dude, I said I just got a feeling that because I knew like the two coaches that were out there was you and Les Miles that were out there, and I knew Les. He went when he went to Kansas. I said, look, Hugh Freeze. I say he it would just make sense for him to come to Liberty. And I just remember 2 or 3 weeks later when I saw that you had signed to be Liberty's next head coach. I remember calling him. I said, dude, like this is awesome. and and I know with you being a believer, that that's the most important thing, as well. And
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that you are at Liberty,
Well,
because
thank you. It's a good fit for me and my family, and this university's been very special to me in
hmm
believing in me not only as a coach but probably more importantly as a person. And
absolutely.
sometimes in this world today, we get so caught up in what social media says somebody is, or or
Mm,
and you never take the time to get to know them as an individual, and that's something that I'm grateful that Liberty did.
absolutely, absolutely. So, and with us on the topic of Liberty, what was your mindset coming into Liberty as the next head coach?
Let's build it and then take a program that's moving from FCS to FBS to its first bowl game. That was, ultimately, what we wanted to do. Truthfully, I did not anticipate us doing it as fast as we did. We're grateful for that. We're thankful, but typically when a program moves from FCS up to FBS, they're not immediately competitive because the rosters are different, and
Mm-hmm.
you're playing teams now that have 85 man rosters of FBS players, and so man, I'm just grateful to the kids here that bought in to the culture and what we're trying to accomplish, and they believed it. And man, accomplishing it in year one was remarkable, and then in year two to finish in the top 20 in the nation is really far surpassed anything I think any of us thought.
Absolutely, because and I just remember as well when I believe like when you first came, I remember you had some health problems when you
Yeah.
going into the season, and I just remember seeing you like you were coaching from from the
Yeah.
box, and I
I
said,
wouldn't call that coaching. It was not much. I was worthless. that was uh, that was a weird start to my tenure here for sure.
Mhm.
Uh,
I mean, but I just remember telling my buddy, I said, man, this guy, you can just tell he loves football. Like he loves what he does.
yeah,
And no matter the circumstances, he's gonna still try to be as as available as he could be.
yeah, I
So
did. I was not. I was against doctors. They weren't real happy with me during that time, and they probably were right because I probably set my recovery back a little bit. But
mm,
I just thought it important that the kids see that man, this guy's he wants to be with us.
and that's awesome. That I know like from a fan's perspective, I saw that and I'm sure your players saw that as well. And like I really admire that. So that was awesome.
Thank you.
Um So for the people out here that may for the kids really that want to go to play at the next level, what for specifically you, what do you look for in a recruit?
Well, first, obviously you have to have the size speed ratio to play at this
Mhm.
level. There are very few that can achieve success here at this level if you don't have some type of measurements that do fit what FBS looks like. I mean, and there are some exceptions, but by and large, you look for, we've got these charts that we go by that what we really want in a receiver, whether you're an
Mhm.
outside guy or an inside guy, what we want in O linemen at tackles and guards, and so you kind of start with that, and then you go to the things you can't measure like grit and toughness and
Mhm.
heart and character and all of those things factor in to who we offer scholarships to. I like gym rats. I like people that like to compete, in whatever it is, whether it's ping pong, basketball, football. The guys just want to compete, and I'm not afraid of kids that have issues or challenges.
Mhm.
That's life, and I'm afraid of ones that don't want to chase a different standard. I have to be convinced that this guy really wants what we have here in this program to offer as far as man chasing a standard every day, whether it be academically, whether it be strength conditioning, nutrition, obviously social issues. We want them to have a desire to want to be better, to better themselves in every area, and if they have all of those, then they're ones that we would go after.
Absolutely. And so for the people out there that are looking to play at the next level, really, like if you already have the attributes of a D1 player, really, like just Coach Freeze just said, make sure, like you can't, because you can't measure heart, you can't measure toughness. Um, that's just like you either have it or you don't. And I think like a kind of another question I have for you as well. Um, what do you what do you think makes a great coach? Like what is your coaching philosophy, honestly?
Yeah, I think every coach is a little different. You have
Mhm.
to. I think the first thing is you be true to yourself, and kids can see if you're trying to fake it or be something that you're not. So I'm a relational, transparent coach. I tell our kids when I got it right, and I tell them when I got it wrong, and I want them to learn from both. I want them to understand that they have a coach that will speak to them about any issue, anything that's going on in their life. I want to speak into it, and I want to be a part of it. And so that's what's worked for me is being a relational type coach. Some coaches are all about the process of winning football games and what that requires, and that works for some people. For me, it's more about the relational side of hopefully championing their heart and their mind, and then it transfers into wins on the field. And that's worked for me everywhere I've been.
Awesome. See, that's awesome. So my last question for you is what what is your goal for Liberty football going forward in the future?
Yeah, it's to be one of the best non-power five programs in the country. Um, and that can look different from year to year. I
Hmm.
tell people all the time, our we're independent, and every year our schedule varies, and 1 year 7 wins may be as good a year as a 10-win season. But the fact is, we want to be competitive in those games that we're playing to be one of the best non-power five programs in the country. We've got the support, we've got the facilities, then we've got a staff that can measure up, and we're continuing to improve our roster. And so I think there's no reason why we can't be, one of those programs that's talked about in that non-power five world of, when people see them on your schedule, they think, oh my, we got a fight on our hands. And that's, I don't ever say that equates to X amount of wins, because I don't know. But it's, I expect us to compete year in, year out, to be bowl eligible and go play in bowl games, and to be one of those non-power five schools that people know, if we're on your schedule, you've got to play hard.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you too. My wife and I, we live here in New Hampshire right now. We moved here last April, and it was just so funny being at we were at Applebee's back in I want to say it was September, October of last year, and I just remember somebody saw my Liberty University hoodie, and the guy he stopped me and he said, hey, he said, so he said Liberty University, that's that football team right now. That's it's a small little football. It's a small football team that's in Virginia. I said, yeah. I said, I went there, and he was like, well, he said, like that team. I watched them play, and he said, I've been following them. He said they are. He said they are legit, and
Yeah.
they're the deal.
And
So
it's
I will
amazing
say,
how football can do something for a university that I don't know that any other program can. And it is kind of a front door, a window that people will view Liberty through. And just this past year, us having being on national TV and in the top 20 and competing and beating some Power Fives and winning another bowl game, you know, I mean, the brand of Liberty gets expanded because of that attention that comes to us. And so, man, we're fortunate to be part of that. And I do think that football, a healthy football program, helps be a healthy university.
absolutely, and I just wanted to tell you, like Liberty football is definitely on the map because here in New Hampshire as well, they're not huge college football fans. up here, but I will say though, the Liberty is making their mark right now, and I would say like you, the players, the coaching staff, everybody on that, from the athletes to the coaching staff, you guys have definitely helped bring Liberty. In the short amount of time that you've been there, you have helped bring them a long way. And I know personally for me as a fan, I really appreciate that. And just seeing, because I watched Liberty football when we had Coach Danny Rocco.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, going into the stands where it looked like a high school stadium, to seeing what it looks like now. um, so yeah, it's really awesome to see. So I really do appreciate that.
Well, we've been blessed to be, relative in the first 2 years, and I'm just thankful to all that had the vision and supported the vision, and now we get to walk in that vision. So it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. So guys, I know you guys probably want to hear, a little bit more, but that's okay because, like Coach Freeze, he's a he's a human being. He has a life. He has other stuff that he has to tend to, and I'm definitely respectful of his time. So, but I appreciate him, just coming on the show and really just taking the time just to answer a couple of questions. And um like this, honestly, this means a lot to me, and I know a
Well,
lot of people out here are really excited for this episode. So thank you, Coach Reese.
you're very kind. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So people, just make sure like that you follow the podcast, or like subscribe. And without further ado, make sure you guys have a great day. Peace.
Blessings to